Okay, I kind of want to go on a rant about gaming. I've been gaming a lot lately. It's been an exceptional hobby. Now that I'm able to afford nice hardware, and now that I have a flexible schedule with work, I've been able to actually finish some games. And I've been kind of thinking, about making my own game at some point, just because I've been gaming forever. I think that it's one of the biggest core memories I have, being like 5 or 6 and playing with the Super Nintendo. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of where this conversation is coming from, and I wanted to talk about supporting indie developers more than we support AAA developers, and looking at small studio games in the eyes of as if it was a AAA game. And I'm not saying every indie game, obviously, but the big ones. And I think that there are tons of examples out there where that's already been obviously done. We can go all the way back to like something that's like Shovel Knight, right, which is like a pretty big success story within the indie development community. And a big reason why I wanted to talk about this, and why I'll probably make several videos on this, is I just see a trend in gaming, and it's been going on forever, and I'm not the only one that sees this trend, but it's definitely there, where we're just kind of feeding these billion-dollar companies, and we're continuously butchering things that we love, mostly based off the premise of the fact that they keep getting support. And I think that one of the best things that we can do as the consumer is to find something better. I think that that's a huge thing. A lot of people just kind of settle and they go, oh, well, they're coming out with another Call of Duty. Oh, well, Bungie's coming out with another booter shooter. Oh, and we kind of just fall into this habitual trap of just consuming crap. And it doesn't have to be like that. And obviously you have to develop your taste, and you kind of have to go through your own journey. But I think that the older I've gotten, the more I realize, like, man, I enjoy, the game that was made by some guy in his mom's basement more than I do any EA game or any Assassin's Creed game. And over the years, that's become more and more consistent, I would say, as development becomes easier and just becomes less of a financial strain. People are making games just between them and their family or them and their friends now, and I think that that's fantastic, because that's kind of where gaming started before it was heavily commercialized and heavily saturated, and corporations bled the life out of it. I think that gaming as far back as like old school Square and old school these old school companies, even old school Nintendo, old school Konami, and by old school, I mean just like the first bout of their corporate regime takeover of the gaming industry. And obviously it was bound to happen, but in order for us to get new ideas, we have to support new ideas, and all of the corporations are likely to not really try these new ideas because it's less profitable. To put it simply, it's less profitable, and they're going to go with what's safe, and what's selling now or what's sold 3 to 4 years ago is typically what gaming seems to do. They have like a 3 to 4 year, this is going to be the next big thing, and then this is going to be the next big thing, and there's a whole group of people whose whole job it is dedicated to analyzing these trends and kind of capitalizing on them. And so I think the biggest thing that we can do is to stop supporting them when your favorite gaming company is going through a crappy 4-year cycle, 3-year cycle, and I think it's also more positive than having this straight doomer mentality where, oh, well, they're never going to make a good game again. It's like, that's not true. Maybe not in your prime, your youth prime, but hey, maybe by the time you're 40, the slop stops and the right CEO is hired and the right development team can actually make a good game. And the only way for us to ever see that future is if we support new ideas and support indie developers and support people who are making games that maybe don't necessarily push the boundaries graphically. And by the way, that what does that even mean these days? Like, look at the game on this screen here. This is almost more graphically impressive, in my opinion, than Assassin's Creed, the new crappy one that just came out, the Japanese one that came out, because I've never seen anything like this. This is a game called Pluto, and it's a dungeon crawler, and it's got like a mix of like 17 different dungeon crawler-esque mechanics. It's got these hand mechanics, and everything just looks absolutely incredible. The detail of this is incredible. The fact that someone, I think this was a small team, made this is just as impressive. And I would like to see, some of these mechanics, some of these types of games to hit the forefront of major sales, hitting record sales. And obviously, in a perfect world, we all do. But I mean, this video is really just a conversation to spark more conversation about trends and gaming trends, and to just kind of put these thoughts out there, because I think it's important for people to talk about and people to hear these kinds of thoughts, especially as we get older, because I do want good games. I want better stories, I think, is a big thing for me. But I also want new mechanics, because I feel like as an avid gamer, and a lot of avid gamers will tell you this, we've kind of just been playing the same thing over and over again for a few years now. And that doesn't feel very good, because game prices are going up and hardware is becoming more expensive. Like, have you seen the price of RAM? Incredibly expensive. So the quality of the games need to also receive a boost, I think. Nintendo is a prime example, and I'll save that for another video, but you know what we're talking about. But we could go individual publishers, Ubisoft, EA. I think that they need to see more new trends within the indie development companies. So yeah, go and support a local game. Go and support a game. Go and tell your friends about it. Make a video about it. Talk about it. Just beat it and get all the achievements and post it on your Steam page or whatever, because hey man, it's probably better that you spend the $15 on a game that you can beat in 10 hours than a $70 game that you're never going to beat. Anyways, that's been my rant. Peace.